Hi, welcome to Crime and Coffee. Here we talk about all things crime and all things coffee. Let's we have our coffee and we're getting ready. This is Wendi Adelson's let's not call it an interrogation because really, as much as I respect Isom, I think he got caught in the web here. I'm just going to do this. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Oh, I took myself out. Oh boy, I'm new. Okay, here we add to stage. There we go. I'm back. So we're gonna get going on this. Here we go.
Did your ID with you?
I just listened to my voicemail.
What'd you hear? Who was your voicemail?
It's from Lisa Carey, who is
Oh, look, so we got Bubba Thomas here.
who I
Wendi Adelson has. I'm gonna
just
just pause this for a second. Wendi Adelson has nothing to do with the murder of Dan Markel. She was absolutely 100% genuine. So, Bubba Thomas, I'm not deleting your comment because you know what? Everybody has a right to their own opinion. And I guess we'll just see, right? Time will come that we will see if she's innocent. She's innocent. Maybe you're one of Wendy's flying monkeys. I have no idea because narcissists have flying monkeys everywhere. I have dealt with a narcissist before. You don't state opinions, you state facts. Well, I'm going to say I am going to understand that you have your side and I have mine. And this is a free world where we're allowed to have opinions. And I'm not going to come at you for yours, and I'm not going to argue at you about being a Wendi supporter or an Adelson supporter. And I just won't do that. I welcome the conversation. Listen, if you want, I'll send you a link right now, Bubba Thomas. You can come on here with me and we can have a discussion about it. Let's have a straight out face. I have more information. I'll tell about it later. And that's, you know what? Honestly, Bubba Thomas, if you have information that clears Wendi, I'm sorry, but you probably would have already put that out there now. But I would definitely love to have a one-on-one conversation. I get it. There's a lot of channels out here that are absolutely, bam, this is how it is. Nobody's going to change their mind. Nothing like that. I get it. But I'm not. This is direct me to it. Direct me to it. Honestly, put the links or whatever you can. Direct me to it, Bubba Thomas, and I will look at it and I will review your side of this. Because I'm not a one-sided person. If somebody can correct me and show me the truth, I will 100% go on my channel and I will state it. And if I'm wrong, I will 100% say I'm wrong. My line in life is own your shit. If you speak untruths, own it. If you do something wrong, like the Dan Markel murder, own it. It's only coming back. It's only going to come back to you after a while. Okay, go ahead. One more thing. I'm listening, or I'm reading. What is it, Bubba Thomas? But the thing is, so here I am. I'm actually putting my face out here and I'm stating my opinions. Like I said, say the word, I'll send you a link and we can have a one-on-one conversation. I will change the whole thing of this live, and you and I can have a one-on-one conversation. Maybe we're talking to Dan Rashbaum. Wouldn't that be something? The date on the rental receipt of the Toyota Prius was July 17th. Okay. So you're saying that it wasn't okay. So what you're telling me here is, see, this is interesting. I wish you would come on. So, well, no, the 18th he was murdered. They drove up the day before. They didn't drive up on the 18th. They drove up on the day before. So that would mean that the date on the receipt for the Toyota Prius would be on the 17th. So that doesn't help your comment. So it doesn't help your argument, Bubba Thomas, because they drove up on the 17th. So I know, but because let me just show this. I know, but because Garcia shot a hole through the floorboard, it delayed it. What? No. He shot a hole in the floorboard on, I believe it was the 17th when they got there. Then they got what was the guy's name? Noble, to rent them a room that night. Next morning they got up, and that's when they started following Dan. So that doesn't clear Wendi. It doesn't do, no, because that's just not. They went up on the 17th and the floorboards were shot. The motel room was originally for one night, not 2 nights. They didn't stay 2 nights. They stayed one night. They stayed the night of the 17th. I'm just going to put this up here. They stayed one night of the 17th. And as soon as they shot Dan Markel, they left. They didn't stay in Tally. So you're saying they stayed 2 nights? They didn't stay 2 nights. Even their cell phone records show they did not stay 2 nights. Even the first trip up, they didn't stay 2 nights. They stayed one night. Not even a night. They got there early in the morning and left. Where are you getting this information that they left on the 16th? Yes, I have a Twitter. It's not fully set up, but I do have a Twitter. Are you saying that's where the information is? Listen, I have my emails linked to my page. Any information that you feel needs to get out there that clears Wendi Adelson, send it to me. And I am 100% the Killer Cases episode. Okay, I'll look into it. I'm 100% on this, Bubba Thomas. Even if you want to come in with just a avatar, we can have this. We can have this conversation. I'm all for a straight up conversation. Okay, you know what? Hold on one sec. Don't go anywhere, Bubba Thomas. I am going to look for this Killer Cross episode. So give me 1 second. You're saying Killer Cross episode. Just give me 1 sec. Or Killer Cases. Sorry, yeah, thank you. I corrected myself at the same time you were correcting me. I do apologize. The Killer Cases episode. Is there an episode they covered the Dan Markel special? Okay, so the Killer Cases episode. You says it's on Twitter. Is that they cover the it's the name of the Twitter account or the actual name of the show? No, they cover the Listen, I'm all for being called out. If I'm saying something that's wrong, I'll call myself out on it. So see, I'm going to show you. I'm going on Twitter right now just to check it out. I saw it on TV. It was on A&E. Okay. Do you know what episode number it is? Because I have, okay. Because I have I have it up here, but it's asking what episode. So if you know the episode number, I'll bring it up and can discuss it. Well, maybe if I put Killer Cases episode Dan Markel. Dan Markel. Okay, hold on. The Professor's Murder, episode 5. Okay. Okay. Oh. I need to sign into my... Oh, lovely. Okay, do they have it anywhere else? A Professor's Murder, episode 5. The rental was checked out on the 15th and they left the following day. And you're saying A&E put this on there? Okay, here's a playlist of it. Where's the playlist? You got me thinking. I'm not gonna lie, because I like knowledge, so I need to find this episode, but for some reason I'm not finding it. I am in Canada, so maybe that's the issue why I can't find it, but killer case. And Catherine even said that she thought it was supposed to happen on the first night of the first visit. Well, yes, of course. It was supposed to happen the first time on the first visit. But that doesn't clear Wendi because it didn't happen. And like when I was going to watch this but on the first visit she had the kids when they went up. Dan didn't have the kids on that first visit. He was dropping them off to school to end his time. And that's when Louise said he wasn't going to do anything because of the kids. But even where you just said there, Catherine even said she thought it was supposed to happen on the first. So you're still tying the Catherine and the Adelsons together. Because listen, I'll say this straight. And it's not really an if, because come on. You can honestly sit there and say that Charlie had nothing to do with this? Because that's crazy. Donna, it'd be crazy for you to try to, there's too much there. But if you've watched any of my videos, you're going to see why I say, I'm not trying to change your mind, but I think she's the one at the top. I'll pull something up here for you. Hold on one sec. So I can try to explain to you my view on this. Again, not trying to change your mind. I respect your opinion 100%. I'm not one of these channels out there that you've probably went to them and they've blocked you. And they're like, oh, get the F out of here, or we don't want to hear this. No, I like hearing both sides. So I'm going to give me 1 second. And that's why I welcome you to come on here and have this discussion. And I've learned more about this case in the last 9 months than anyone has in the last 10 years. Then you know what? Even more so for you to come on my show with me and have the conversation. If you have the receipts, and I'm not meaning the car receipts, but if you have the receipts to prove Wendi Adelson is not guilty, then I welcome it. I welcome to see it, because you know what? I'm going to say this, and I know there's going to be channels out there that would hate me for it. Yes, I do. I guarantee it. I guarantee. And Carl, Carl's not hearing that. Carl's been the lead on Wendi from day one. I don't mute people, because how am I able to sit on here and give my opinion and not willing to listen to someone else's opinion? It's just not how I work. I'm not that way. I'm just trying to find. Oh, I think it's in downloads. Mm-mm-mm. So you've been restricted on Reddit. You must have really done something bad to get restricted on Reddit. I enjoy the back and forth conversations. Trying to find. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Just bear with me for 1 sec. I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I will get back to that later. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the one I want. Okay. So, Bubba, here we go. The location to Miami is only half true. So there you see, you're still saying there's some truth to this. I'm going to try to enlarge this. Oops, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. It's hard having a conversation with somebody that's just in chat, but that's okay. Let's do this. We can do this. So what I've got up the screen here, Bubba, is how I believe this went down. So as you can see, I've got Dan here. I've got Wendi here. I got Harvey and Donna, Charlie, Catherine, Sigfredo, and Luis. So information was coming from Dan to Wendi, pardon me, on his time. Then you've got Wendi, Daddy's little girl, and I believe this is how Harvey gets in this, because I honestly don't think they would have had Harvey in it. If Donna was the mastermind, Harvey wouldn't be in it. Wendi whines and cries and berates Dan to Harvey. Harvey doesn't like to hear his little girl going through this. So there's a bunch of talk back and forth from Harvey to Donna to Wendi, going both directions. And then it flows to Charlie and down the channel. In my opinion, and again, my opinion, so you think that's true? So are you saying that Wendi you're agreeing to the part where Wendi was, complaining and whining and berating Dan to Harvey and Donna, but she had no knowledge of the crime? Is that what you're saying? Is she had no knowledge of the plan? See, and so I'm going to post this because this family is so intertwined in each other's life that it's actually really unhealthy. And the reason I was doing her interview, which to me shows she did know, is how quick she threw everybody under the bus. She threw her brother under the bus. She even made that phone call to her mom and then looked at the victim support worker and said, "Oh, I'm so happy my mom is surprised." She did throw them under the bus. She did throw them under the bus. Honestly, she did. What she said about her mom calling and all of that. Oh, my parents, sorry, she didn't say my parents. She said, or my mom, she says, "Oh, well, my parents seem so surprised." That's good. I don't know how I would have been able to handle that. Like, I don't know how you know Wendi. I don't know any of that. And let's see. Yeah, that's what Wendi said to the victim support worker that was sitting beside her. The support worker that Wendi looked at her in this horrible time and said, "Oh, nice skirt. I have that one." Or the most narcissistic part of Wendi is when she looked at that woman in the face and said, "Do you see how much we look like each other? Like, I'm looking at you and it's like I'm looking at myself. Can you see it?" This woman thinks of herself so highly that now she's trying to manipulate the victim support worker. What did I overlook? Honestly, like I said, I'm all for this. But you said I overlooked something crucial. So what was it I overlooked? Seriously, Bubba Thomas, I'm telling you right now, let me send you a link and you can join in. Okay, let's go. You give me the information you need to put out there. I'm going to I'll hear it out. Like I said, I'm not these other channels that start shutting people down when they talk about something that I believe against. If you can show me the receipts to prove Wendi is innocent, Danny's been shot. I need you fly down as soon as possible. You can drive, but preferably fly. How is that a crucial? That's not crucial. Of course she needed them. She has to pretend that she's so heartbroken. She wasn't heartbroken about Danny. She was elated. She was elated about this man that was holding her in Tallahassee. She was elated that she no longer had to have any 50-50 with the kids. She can make 100% all the choices. No. I disagree 100% with you. Again, that's your opinion. I'll respect it. There is no way you up and move from Tallahassee to Miami with two small children in that amount of time. It just doesn't happen. Again, show the proof. Like I said, show the proof. There's just no way. And you know what? Another thing is, she lawyered up right away. When they asked her to come back in for another meeting, she didn't answer her phone. It was a voicemail. What does she do? She calls a lawyer. What's the lawyer do? Calls TPD right away and says she will not be speaking. Of course, she's not going to put officially that she moved, but she never went back. She never went back. So are you saying I'm wrong about her lawyering up right away? That the TPD didn't call her to come in for another meeting? I'll say straight up, if Isom hadn't have fallen under Wendy's spell that day, she'd probably be in handcuffs now. I'm listening. Go ahead. To anybody just joining on, this is Bubba Thomas, and he believes that I am wrong about Wendy being guilty. And I'm not going to block him. I want to hear his opinion, and I will give mine, and he will give his. Sorry, Bubba Thomas. I'm not sure if you are a he or a she. I do apologize. I'm listening. This is actually quite interesting. I was just going to do a review on Wendy's interview, but my friend here, Bubba Thomas, came in, and we're going to have a little back and forth chit chat. So, and I'd like to say to everybody out there that, they're already had several body. Okay, let's hear this. They've already had several body language experts, from prosecutors, former law enforcement, all believe that Wendy was truthful. Nice to meet you, Bubba. Okay, because I've watched a few body experts that say she's being very deceitful. So I'd be interested in to see which ones you've watched. Because let me see, what is their name? Hold on. Okay. So see, this is where I'm saying how I'm willing to hear you out. But your body experts, because they believe Wendy, are right. But other body experts that don't believe Wendy are biased. You're going by independent ones. Who are these independent ones? And show me them. I am all for, like I said, I am all for hearing your side. But I want receipts. Jane Driver. Is she on YouTube? So the ones that I've watched are the behavioral panel. And I have to say, They'll call people out if they say somebody's lying and they don't see it. Court TV. Okay, let me just see. Janie. Body language expert. Okay. So I don't, she was on Court TV giving her analysis of Wendi Adelson. Carl Steinbeck was on there too. Okay. I am going to look that one up. I bet you that was quite the case, quite the episode with Carl Steinbeck, especially going at Wendi, because, you know, the thing with Carl Steinbeck is he has said all of this. Okay, if you can find it, let me know. He has predicted all of this before it even happened. Like, if I needed a lawyer, I'd want Carl Steinbeck. Because that man is amazing. But like I said, I'm not going to tell somebody they can't believe Carl's a conspiracy theorist. Oh boy. I don't think the man is he's Jag. Have you seen this man's resume? The resume. He puts a lot of lawyers to shame, this man's resume. Okay, here's a question. Would you want Daniel Rashbaum representing Wendi? And here's another question for you. Why hasn't Wendi returned that diamond to the Markels? Like, if she didn't do these things, okay, if she didn't keep this heirloom, if she didn't change the boys' names right away, if she didn't move to Tallahassee or to Miami right away, if she hadn't have wrote in that damn book, people really might not have much to say. She hadn't have taken stop visitations from the Markels to see their grandson, the only living piece of their son. And Wendi was able to be so cold-hearted. What? That Wendi kept these things? That Wendi changed her son's names? These are the things that Wendi did. And are you going to tell me that when she was in that pool with Katie and Charlie, messaging Dan about his trip to New York, because we all know that happened, they have the text messages, and then all of a sudden it's got to happen? See, tell me then. Don't just say I'm wrong. Don't just say I'm wrong, Bubba Thomas. Tell me. Show me the receipts to prove that I am wrong. That's all you got to do. Oh my God. Are you? You can't. Please don't, Bubba. I would have so much respect for your opinion that you're going to go Prof's blog. Are you telling me Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera and Katie McBenoit are going on the Prof's blog? So you're saying Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson went on the Prof's blog. Is that what you're saying? So who went on the Prof's blog and got his information if none of those 5 did? But they have proof that Donna and Charlie didn't have access to the Prof's blog. So then you're the only person that had access to the Prof's blog that could go on there was Wendi. Yes, but I do believe they have his Facebook post, and it didn't state times. It just stated he was going to New York. Yeah, but it didn't state times. No, of course she wasn't going to object to the Prof's blog post or the Facebook post, but there was no times on it. And even Luis said, yeah, he heard it from the blonde when they said Prof's blog. And he goes, yeah, from the blonde. So everything that's come out in the trial, though, Bubba, has already proved one Adelson guilty. All that stuff that's come out in the trial has made everybody think Wendi is guilty. What is it you have that takes all that evidence in the trial and tosses it into the garbage can? See, and this is where I disagree. That it was supposed to happen on the Friday. She was supposed to go to California. She canceled it way in advance. And when she canceled it, she said, I need to be back on this day for my kids. So I know you're going to say Jeffrey Lacoste is a liar. I guarantee that's coming out. So it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to disrespect you in any way. Everybody's opinion is everybody's opinion, and everybody has one. But you haven't come to me with anything that is going to change my mind. You have not changed my mind yet. Like, you're going to need to throw me a red herring like out there and say, hey, it's going to have flashing red lights, everything saying, slow down, check this out. You haven't said it yet. Oh, he was madly, you could tell. Come on, man. If you couldn't tell that this man was in love with that woman, then you need to borrow my glasses. And when he says he was under her spell, absolutely. Was he dating above? Absolutely. First 5 minutes of her interview, you knew? Okay. Let's watch the first 5 minutes. You explain to me what I am missing in the first 5 minutes of Wendy's interview. And I'm not going to talk through it. I'll watch the whole 5 minutes. It had to do with the Kleenex, the mountain of Kleenex. So you're saying that people can't make themselves cry? You're saying that there's no way she could make herself cry? If that's what you think, I'm going to stop sharing that, and I'm going to go to Wendy's. So what I see, I'm gonna press play. I'm still gonna pay attention to the chat so I can talk to my new friend here, Bubba Thomas. And we're gonna go for five minutes. That you said within 5 minutes I can tell if Wendi is telling the truth. So here we go.
She just said she was driving around town and she heard there was a shooting on Trescott.
Yeah, that's what this is about. I'm sorry you had to hear it that way.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if I should.
It's all right, just leave it there. Is it still on?
It's right there.
Okay, Bubba, let me know.
Hey, it's Lisa Carey. It is Friday, and I feel like an idiot doing this, but I just heard that there was a shooting over on Trescott, and I promise I'm not trying to be dramatic or even nosy. I don't know, just checking on you, my friend. I hope all is.
This is Law and Crimes, and that's where it starts. Hold on.
Did your ID with you?
I just listened to my voicemail.
What'd you hear?
Who
was your voicemail?
It's from Lisa Carey, who is my real estate agent, or who I had gone with to find a house. She just said she was driving around town and she heard there was a shooting on Trescott.
Yeah, that's what this is about. I'm sorry you had to hear it that way.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if I should.
It's all right, just leave it there. Is it still on?
It's right there.
Hey, it's Lisa Carey. It is Friday, and I feel like an idiot doing this, but I just heard that there was a shooting over on Trescott, and I promise I'm not trying to be dramatic or even nosy.
She actually wasn't in the process. They became, I guess, like friendly, or I believe this real estate agent is just a very nosy person. But she wasn't in the process. The house that in October that she had canceled or didn't get because what she said, Danny owed her money and she couldn't afford it. Again, Bubba, show the proof that she was interested, because Patty's Playhouse has already pulled up and she's a real estate broker, and she's already pulled up all the information to show that Wendi was not actively looking for a house. She spoke to other real estate agents. This lady was not Wendy's agent. But if you want, go and check Patty's Playhouse. She lives in Tallahassee. She's a real estate broker. Show me the proof. But listen, I promised you 5 minutes of this.
Just checking on you, my friend. I hope all is well. I hope your sweet boys are well. And if there's anything you need, let me know. It just ran a chill down my spine.
Send them to me, Bubba. My email is there. Send them.
212-3083.
Like I said,
all is well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
If Wendy's innocent,
Or is it stop automatically?
It's done.
Okay.
I
You have your
will
identification with
come
you?
on here and I will back her 100%. Can't back her with no proof.
So you never took the last name of Markel?
No.
Adelson. Okay. Wendi with an I. Jill. All right.
I'm
There was
almost
a
thinking
shooting.
you're Dan Rashbaum.
At your home, or your ex-husband's home at 2116 Trescott. Okay. Your ex-husband, Daniel, all right, has been taken to the hospital. He's not going to survive.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mom. I know that's a tremendous party. What happened?
Well, before we get into everything,
you,
I
Glenn.
have to establish where you were and who you were with.
My name's
so
Rochelle.
forth.
Okay.
Okay, and then once we've established all that, I can give you more details.
Okay.
Do you understand why I wanted you to come here before I discuss this?
Oh my God.
And you don't like defense attorneys. I'm thinking at this point, when it comes to Wendi, you don't like prosecutors either.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, you have nothing to be sorry about.
I just don't understand. How could this happen?
Can you let me get over this hump, okay?
I like Appleman
Can we
too.
do that
He's
first?
a good lawyer.
All right. Can you tell me what time you left your house this morning?
Yeah, I was there. I didn't leave this morning. I didn't leave until noon.
Okay. And
Oh my God. And I tried to drive up Trescott and I saw that it was blocked.
Okay, I gotta pause it here because, Glenn, how do you excuse this? How do you excuse that line? Oh my God. I even tried to drive up Trescott. And each time in every trial, she's changed her story. How do you excuse that one moment? And that's another thing. If she just tell the truth about driving up Trescott, like how do you excuse that? And I'm going to put this up here because people need to see this. They need to see that you like Kappelman and that she's awesome. And I secondly agree. Yeah, in all trials, she's changed her story. So does an innocent person do that? Does somebody that's telling the truth have 3 different stories? 4, if you count the interview. That's why not say, I drove up Trescott. I seen the tape. Tape was two houses on one side of Dan's. So why is she lying in the trials? If she was honest here, why is she lying in the trials? Like, that's what I'm saying. Because if you're telling the truth, it's always the same. Oh. Okay, so she drove down Trescott here. Then she was on Centerville and then saw tape, so she didn't turn down Trescott. Then she turned down Trescott, saw tape as she turned off of Centerville. And then she had to do a K turn. Remember the famous K turn? And then, all of her lies, is what is adding up to this woman being guilty. Because people like you are not putting out this evidence of her innocence. I myself am just reviewing her own words. I'm not saying I have all these records and I know without showing proof. I'm not doing that. I'm using my common sense, my experiences in life of living with a narcissist. And, well, you know what, Bubba or Glenn? I do apologize because we're Glenn and Rochelle now. We're friends now. So I hope you subscribe to my channel because I would like to have more conversations with you. I would, and I hope I can be one of them to read your book. And if you do write this book and it proves her innocent, and listen, here's the thing. I hope if you have the evidence, and I'm going to put myself in a spot now where I'm not on either side. I'm going to call myself Switzerland for a minute. If you have the evidence that clears this woman completely, and she's got 2 children that could be parentless without, if she goes to jail, I would hope, for the sake of writing a book, you would save that mother if you have the evidence to prove her innocence, instead of having these 2 young teenagers be parentless. Because I wouldn't sit on that information too long, Glenn, because the time is ticking on Wendi, and you would be very naive, very naive to sit on that. So please, and again, I'm putting myself in Switzerland now. We already know where I stand on this. I stand on Wendy's guilty. You stand on Wendy's innocent. But as a mother, I'm saying if you hold this information, this golden egg that proves Wendy is innocent, don't wait too long. Think of those two boys. Writing a book, you know what? That's awesome. I wouldn't know what to start, but I'm telling you right now, my life it could be a book. But whatever you do, if you're sitting on information that clears Wendi Adelson, don't let these two young lads go through it. Now, I don't want to be Switzerland anymore because I think she's guilty as hell. But that's just, and like I said, from the beginning, when you come in, I could have blocked you, Glenn. You know that. I could have blocked you. I could have said, oh, here we go. Is another Wendi flying monkey. I could have blocked you. But I didn't. I'd rather hear all sides of the story. And I know other channels would probably be like, oh my God, she's entertaining them and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not entertaining anybody. I'm entertaining the truth. And if it's my truth or it's your truth, doesn't matter whose truth it is, I entertain the truth. We've already agreed that Charlie's guilty as sin. And Donna's guilty as sin. But you think it stops there. You think it stops at Donna. I don't think so. I think the one that they're going to have the hardest time convicting is Harvey. So we'll go back to this, and because I just wanted to say that, like, please, if you have the information, don't put those boys through it.
Was blocked at some point. I'm not sure what time it was
And I
blocked.
just thought, oh, there's maybe some trees down or something. Because sometimes.
Oh, you're saying as you drove down which one of the side roads?
When I'm going to a friend's party tonight, and it's a oh my God, what am I even talking about? I needed to buy, it's a stock the shelf engagement party, and so I went to buy bourbon.
Okay.
So I went to drive from my place up Trescott to get to ABC Liquor, and it was blocked, so I just turned around. I was on the phone at the time. I wasn't paying a lot of attention.
Right.
So I just turned around and drove up the other way. I just thought, oh, sometimes when I lived there were electrical things that would happen. I left my house around 12:15 because I thought I'll get the bourbon and then I'll get some gas for the car and I need super glue for one of the boys' toys. And I was trying to do all I can before meeting my two friends at 1.
Okay, who was at your house this morning?
The only person that was at my house this morning was a guy from Best Buy because my TV was broken and it's under warranty.
Easy for you.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, a guy from Best Buy was at your house to work on your TV?
I have his name and everything at the house if you want it, because the boys broke the TV. So he gave me a choice of fixing it or getting a new one.
What time did he come to the house?
He called me.
Okay, so even right there, Glenn, I have the name and everything of the Best Guy repair guy if you need it. I don't know about you, but usually when a repair person comes into my house or does anything, I'll say hi, I'm friendly, whatever. But I don't think, oh, I should write this repair guy's name down and his number or his badge number or whatever they use, employee number. I wouldn't think it. If something like this happened, I'd say, well, Best Buy was at my house. If somebody said to me, "Oh, well, do you know who?" No, but call Best Buy, the Geek Shack. They'll have the information. Right? So it's just these odd things. Like, she's made her day so busy. She had the receipt at her house. She didn't get nothing fixed. She didn't fix the TV, so what's the receipt for? The receipt would just be, she would have paid with her Visa or whatever for the repair guy to come out. She did not have that TV fixed. She says it her own self that she did not have the TV fixed. It was cheaper to buy a new TV than to have it fixed. Her own words. Unless, again, in the trial, she's lying there too. So it's just, there's just too many things that don't add up with her. And unless she's a compulsive liar, unless she has a disease, the TV wasn't under warranty. Do you know, Glenn, do you know the size of this TV? Do you know what the size of this TV that Charlie was so proud he bought for his sister? Like, honestly, if I had a brother was rich as him and he bought me a TV and I got what he bought me, I'd probably give it back to him. Just like Jeffrey Lacoste said, it's something you'd find in a dorm room. And the TV was broken for quite a while. Like I said, if it's under warranty and you have the receipts, because it wouldn't be a big thing. It might, but so the TV, okay, I'm going to give you this. The TV might be under warranty, but it was not fixed. It was not fixed. They couldn't fix it. She was hoping to get it fixed for free. It was purchased in 2012. Yeah, it was purchased when she pulled everything out of the house on Trescott. But you never did answer me, Glenn. Why wouldn't she return that heirloom ring? Like, that's huge. That's a huge stain on her. To be that vindictive. Like, I would hope for your sake. Yeah, see, and it's just wrong. I'm sorry. Out of all of it, her keeping that ring, her changing those boys' names. No, I've said many truthful things. You just don't agree with them. They're my truth. And this is your truth. Explain the name change. CNN. No. Adelson's name was out there. The Adelson name was out there. So she thought it was better to have her name than those two young men or young boys at the time. Honestly, Glenn, if somebody did that to your child, took them away, got rid of your last name, like you were nothing. How would you feel? Dan didn't get a chance to feel, but his parents do. She wiped the Markels right off out of their life. That's not somebody that's caring. You know what? Yeah, she called her to tell her. She called her to tell her. But it's still wrong. I'm sorry, that's wrong. The man wasn't even, not even a year. So it was there when they went back to school. Oh, well, don't. Hey, okay, this is where we will part our friendship because this girl, first off, I'm Canadian. Second it off, we probably should not get into the Trump thing because I can't stand the orange man. And I do not know what's going on in the United States that they're going to give this man a second go. That's all I'm saying on Trump. I'm leaving it at that. And because, listen, we have Trudeau. He's horrible. But I thank God we don't have Trump. I would keep Trudeau over Trump any day. I don't know what it is. Like, no, you started it. Look, you got me into politics. You're making me get off the Wendi conversation, and I refuse. I cannot go down the Trump because Trumpers, I don't know what's wrong. They've drank too much Kool-Aid. Oh my God. I have to put this up on the screen because I'm sorry, Glenn. That's just something. If Wendi was a Trump supporter, then she wouldn't be receiving all of this negative attention. I disagree. I think if she was a Trump supporter, it'd be worse. I think it absolutely would be worse than. But you can't, there's just so much. Okay, so let's go down the list. See, you and I, how many times have you agreed with me here? The only thing we're not agreeing about is Wendi and her innocence and guilt. I think that. So listen, I'll be straight up. In one of my videos, I said, I hope the minute that jury comes back, so she'd get it from both sides. So basically you're saying both sides, no matter who she supported, they would just switch sides, and then either the liberals are going at her or the Trumpers are going at her. But I said, I hope that the minute that jury says Donna Adelson guilty, that somebody is waiting with shiny new bracelets for Wendi Adelson. I've said it, and I'm gonna, unless, like I said, Glenn, unless somebody wants to prove me, I will look for it. I absolutely will, and I promise you, as soon as I find it, I will do a video on it. So if you put your notification on when I do it, I will, well, hold on. I will make sure that I do. And I will try to find your views and I will try to see it through a different lens because, yes, I have Wendi is guilty lens on. Nobody has proved me wrong. Nobody has, it's not that somebody hasn't proved me wrong. Nobody has gave me anything to put the brakes on and say, whoa, this is interesting. Like we've listened to 5 minutes and 43 seconds of that interview, and I see a bad actor. I see a bad actor on with Wendi. What I see in this interview is the mastermind who decided, hey, if I give them even my own family's name, they're going to be like this poor woman. They're not going to look at me. And listen, she already had Isom under her spell. 100%. I would like to speak to Isom and say, how do you feel now? Like she got you. Like I was in a very narcissistic, abusive relationship. So I can see narcissism like it's a glaring light. And again, even if you're a narcissist doesn't mean you're a killer. It doesn't mean that. No, they didn't. I get what you're saying, and it could be you could see it like that unless you see all the big picture. But when Charlie says she couldn't even help herself, she had to go to the crime scene. That line right there says she knew there was going to be a crime. She couldn't even help herself. She had to go to the crime scene. What he's like, okay, yes and no. Explain your yes and no to that, because that is, if she didn't know, okay, that I am going to stop talking because I want to hear your explanation. I want to hear it. Honestly, Glenn, do you have you don't even have to go on camera. Do you have a mic? I would rather do this back and forth conversation where we can hear each other. Because I will invite you right now. Wendi always used to. Did you see, Glenn, did you see what she did to travel to go to lunch? It's not a shortcut. Please go and look at Katie Kool-Lady did a drive. Her and Fancy Fiction did a drive. Did the drive from Wendi's house on Aqua Ridge to all the way back up to where she had lunch. He testified. Yeah, he did. He did testify and said, he did testify and say that she took that road quite often. A block and a half difference from where the liquor store or from her house? Which one are you talking? Because she could have went from her house to a liquor store to the restaurant without taking that whole long way. She could have done that. I have several screenshots of the crime scene and her old house on Aqua Ridge. The crime scene was no. Okay. This is where you and I, it's not the same distance. From Aqua Ridge to the ABC liquor store that she went to, where Trescott is in there, is not the same distance from her house to Mosaic. No, that's a conspiracy theory right there. Because there's no way. There's Katie Kool-Lady with Fancy Fiction. They did the drive. Patty's Playhouse did the drive. There's no way in God's green earth that somebody in their right mind would call Trescott a shortcut. Even here, even Isom, you can hear it. Here, it should be right here too.
At around 8. He was probably there until around 10.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. And then you
and then after he left, I kept working on a paper, and I emailed the paper to a librarian at school to work on some of the citations.
okay.
And I don't think I talked to anyone else, but I was just working for an hour or so from the house. I was gonna take a shower, but I didn't. I ran out of time. I did laundry. And then I left the house around noon.
To go to the liquor store and the stuff for the party.
Yeah.
Okay, you went down which road you said?
I went down Trescott.
Okay.
I saw a police car there, and I just thought it was blocked, so I just turned around and
Benton Road was
drove,
the road that
drove to, I went down the rest of Centerville, went up Benton, took Benton Cross, went to ABC Liquors, bought the bourbon.
oh, we
I'm a little
missed it.
confused. You're up on Centerville Road. What's your purpose of driving down Trescott?
It's usually the shortcut to get to
Oh.
Monroe.
To get to Monroe?
I usually take it as a cut through to get to Thomasville or Monroe.
Okay, all right, so
I
you,
don't know why I said Monroe. I was thinking Mosaic, Monroe.
So you even hear in Isom's voice there. You even hear when she says it's a shortcut. He's like, huh? He knows it's not a shortcut. Have you seen Trescott? Have you seen how many speed bumps are on Trescott? Like this, I really like, I appreciate you and your thought and your opinions 100%. But honestly, Glenn, there's not one thing. There's not one thing you have said to me that has stopped me. The car receipt. Well, you kind of are stating your own opinions as I am stating my opinions. And listen, you live in the United States. You know about freedom of speech. You guys are big on freedom of speech. I live in Canada. We have a freedom to speak too. We just don't have a freedom to protest. Because government would call an emergency and shut the whole Canada down. But I think what's going to happen with Donna's trial is going to open up a lot more questions. Another thing is, how do you not know you used WhatsApp? And there's another lie. No. I am not taking Dan's side because he's from Canada. Because honestly, Dan was born in Montreal. I can't stand Montreal. No, I'm taking the side of a man. I'm not even taking the side of the man. I'm taking the side of those two boys. They deserve the truth. They deserve the justice. Ruth and Phil, they deserve justice too. But if you want my opinion, those two boys deserve the justice for their father more than anybody else. More than anybody else, they deserve that justice. It's Wendi got WhatsApp after the murder. No, she didn't. Because she says, okay, this is a proven one because she says it in trial. She uses WhatsApp to speak to her friends overseas. No, when she was on the phone driving to the crime scene, who was she speaking to? It's in her own words. She says it right in this interview. She used it to speak to her overseas friends doing phone calls. No, she says she was talking to her friend from England. Not Germany, England. No, it's right in here. She was on the phone with her friend from England. And she said she uses WhatsApp to speak. She says it in the trial. To speak to her friends, and she gave that information in her interview. No, they said she herself says England. Because I remember picking up my phone, using my WhatsApp, and calling my friend from England and say, hey, do you have a friend named Wendi Adelson? And we laughed about it. So, it's just another thing. She's got too many different stories, too many, and if you want to call them little white lies, there's too many. And like I was saying earlier, let's just say she is a compulsive liar. She can't stop herself. It's a disease. It's a disease. If you have her phone records, Glenn, and I will implore you again, if you have what it takes to prove this woman innocent, then you need to do it. You need to put it out there and stop this woman from being prosecuted. Save those two boys from losing another parent. And go from there. But you can tell me you have the phone records, and I get it. You're thinking you're writing a book or whatever. But I would say you might have the phone records, but you might not be able to actually have the WhatsApp records, because that's quite a lengthy process to get those. If the phone calls exonerate her, so okay, but there you go. Where's the authenticity then? Could this be a skeptic that you know, where's the authenticity? Where's the because Donna, Harvey, and Charlie were supposed to go and watch her give that commencement speech. So you could take that logic and say, well, they were supposed to go too. It doesn't, so here's the thing with Jeff Lacoste. Wendi supporters with Jeff Lacoste only pick out the things that benefit Wendi. And they leave all the other stuff out of there. Well, you got to be a Wendi supporter because you're saying she's not guilty, and like I said, and that's your opinion and I respect it. But I think you've been on here she did steal the jewelry, and I am so glad that you're admitting that, and I am so glad that you're willing. So this is why I respect. This is why I respect. But how is it not an opinion when you say she's not guilty? That's your opinion. As it's my opinion when I say she is guilty. I don't have all the facts in front of me. You don't have all the facts in front of you. I'm, like I said, I go off of what her words. Like, return the jewelry, Wendi. Don't, why she changed the boy's name? That looks so bad for her. That looks so very bad. And everybody can say CNN and Nancy Grace and all this. Well, the Adelson name is not that great. I bet you those boys get more comments because they have the Adelson last name than they would if they had the Markel last name. Markel last name wasn't dirtied. Adelson last name is dirty. It's soiled. Then, again, save the boys from losing another parent. Write your book. But as long as you don't write your book about something that's fake or fiction, but it's actually real. I will love to read your book. I will actually buy your book when you write it. But this live stream has gone way off the rails. So I am probably going to say goodnight to you tonight, Glenn. But I'm going to put, just so this is all on here, so people can see it. And so I'm not being one-sided. I made sure all of your comments are on the live stream. I'm not going to delete this live stream. I am going to put it up because I would hope other creators that are following this case would hear both sides. And that's why I didn't block you or delete you right away. Because I refuse to be a one-sided person. There's two sides and there's always the middle. And the truth is probably always in the middle. And that's why I respected you enough. And I'm glad. And you know what? I'm going to say this, Glenn. Sure, go right ahead. But I will say one thing. even though we have two different views on this, I found you very respectful. And I appreciate that. So thank you. And that goes to anybody else out there. If you see Bubba Thomas, he's not disrespectful. Hear him out. And my coffee's cold, Bubba. My coffee's cold. But Bubba, if I go and I check my subscriptions and you haven't subscribed, I'll be very hurt. I might break down into a Wendi cry. And you are more than welcome at any time if you want to join me. If you want to join me on a live anytime, invitation's always open to you, Bubba. I'm going to put this up on screen. I am not hiding any of the chats. I've advocated for 6 high-profile people who were wrongly accused of a crime. They were tried and convicted in the court of public opinion. I predicted that all 6 of them would be exonerated. And you know what? Like I said before, if you're right, then I'm happy. If you're right, I am happy. And the reason I would be happy is for those 2 young boys. And your prediction is now going to forever be on Crime and Coffee. So when that day comes, you can come on here and say, I told you. I told you. And I will sit there and say, you were right. Because this is what I say. If there was anybody to prove and make sure they had absolute proof to convict Wendi Adelson, it's Georgia. Georgia's not going to go after Wendi if she can't win it. You yourself already said how good Georgia was. Like I said, we'll see. We will see, and you have it here that I will publicly apologize to Wendi Adelson for everything I've said if she's not guilty. I will publicly apologize to her. Oh, no. No, see, I disagree. Carl Steinbeck was not on this case right away. And people right away started calling for Wendi. I think Carl sees what I see, but because he's such a brilliant mind, people are like going after him. Carl Steinbeck is a good person. You don't even think she'll get arrested. So you're thinking there's not even a chance she won't even get arrested. See, and I think she's going to stand trial. She's either going to stand trial or she's going to get arrested. Well, no, because there's no way to, unless she tries to flip on her dad. You already know she's not getting. Well, how do you know she's not getting arrested? You must know. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't bet your entire life on it. Because no matter what, if she's guilty or not guilty, Wendi Adelson is not worth somebody betting their entire life on her innocence. You know what they say? You can always be wrong. I don't think of myself as always right. I would rather think of myself as somebody that has an opinion and somebody that can own their own words. I'd rather own my own word. I'll own my own words 100%. Do you want to share what high profile cases you were right on? I'm going to call this what were the high profile cases? And please do not say O.J. Simpson. Oh, I believe Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't guilty. 100%. Alec Baldwin, he's not guilty. He didn't put the bullet in the gun. Now that's a sad case right there, Amanda Knox. I tell you, I went to Italy and I was so afraid because I'm a solo travel, so I travel by myself, and I was petrified because I was like, if I one misstep, I could be Amanda Knox, and I just didn't. I'm not sure about the Richard Jewell. But these are the high profile, and you're putting Wendi Adelson in this group of people? I do feel bad for Amanda Knox. That's a sad case right there. So did you think O.J. Simpson was guilty, or you thought O.J. Simpson was... You must have thought he was guilty if you were wrong. And Casey Anthony, did you think she was guilty or innocent? Well, O.J. Simpson was guilty. So you're kind of right on that one. I'll give you that one. Oh, you predict hung jury. First off, stupidest mistake ever, telling him to put that glove on. But I can't say what I thought about the OJ trial because I was overdone with. Exactly, the glove shrunk. That's why I say it was the stupidest mistake ever that they made by saying we want him to put the glove on. Not only that, he had a latex glove on because he couldn't touch, obviously, the evidence. And you're trying to slide that glove into another glove. Stupidest. I think he would have been found guilty if they hadn't done that. Wow, this stream has gone off the rails. Off the rails. But again, I will say goodnight now. Bubba Thomas, aka Glenn. I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate the chat we had tonight. And we're still on different sides of this, friend, but hopefully you'll join me again. And I'm going to look for that the killer case. Yep. And it was episode 5. I've got it written down here. I'm going to search it up, and I will put it, when I'm going to do it, I will put up a live, and I'll set a time, and hopefully you'll check in and watch it with me. But I will look it up, and hopefully I'll see you around there, Bubba. Again, thank you. I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate you. I do appreciate your opinion. And maybe we'll see each other at the Wendi Adelson trial. That's just me being a bit cheeky. But I will say this. If Wendi Adelson does go to trial, I will go to Tallahassee for that. I will be in that. I will go and watch. Yes, that's right. The Killer Cases Professor, episode 5. I'm just going to make sure, just really quickly, I want to make sure all of your comments have got on the screen. That way I'm being fair. So good night, Bubba. Oh, okay. I'm waiting. See, last time I went to say goodnight, you said wait, and I waited. Okay, okay. You, just because I'm putting them up on the screen, she's not. Go ahead. Go ahead, put it. You know you want to. If she was, then I would be writing the book. So if she was guilty, you will write the book, or if she's not guilty, you're going to write the book. If she goes to trial, you'll write the book. Night, Bubba. See you around.